turn this car on. So, if you're new here, my name is Josh. I'm going to be posting. I'm going to try to post twice a day, to be honest with you. Just talking to the camera, kind of giving my life advice, my life story. I live in Texas. I'm a dad of two. I work at this car dealership here, Sterling McCall Honda. So I sell cars for a living. If you've ever thought about selling cars, I got some advice for you. I kind of want to tell you the ins and outs of how the car dealership runs, but more specifically, kind of what your hours will look like, because it's a lot of hours. I'm kind of moving this car here. I'm actually working right now. So what I'm doing now is actually I'm putting miles on this car, this specific car. The service is all done. They purchased it last night, but we told them can't quite take it yet, because we just got the car in and it needs to be serviced. So the service was done, it just needs to have miles put on it. So I gotta drive it probably 50-60 miles, something like that. I mean, I don't know how long I'm gonna be gone. Just get on the highway and go. And then when I get back, they plug it up and they make sure all the boxes are green. They can do the state inspection and then it'll pass. So it's just kind of something that we have to do. I mean, I don't necessarily want to do it, and I don't want to split the deal with anyone else, because if you get anyone else to help out, you kind of got to split the deal with them. They're not going to work for free. So it's just a matter of trying to manage your time, but it's a lot of hours. If you're looking into selling cars and you're trying to make some more money, you can make money. Let me tell you, you can make a lot of money, but you can also not make a lot of money. So there's kind of pros and cons to it. You will work a lot of hours. So if you have a family and you have kids and you're okay with being away from home most of the day and working bell to bell and sometimes getting off super late, sometimes you'll get home at like 10 or 11 at night. Maybe 11 is a little exaggerated, but sometimes you'll get someone who will come in right before closing, and you need the deal. So you work the deal, you show them a car, and then your process is pretty time efficient, but then they go into the finance office, and then that's what takes a while. They're in there for probably a few hours, signing up everything. So it's straightforward. You do have to be competent with talking to people and with sales and everything like that. So you can make a lot of money, but also if you don't put effort into it, and if you're just sitting in the back not working at it, you don't sell any cars, you can make nothing. But plus, if you do that, you probably get fired too. So it's very rewarding the more work you put into it. And so my suggestion is, if you're going into a car dealership and you want to hit the ground running and start making a lot of money and selling cars, you need to get in front of people. The more people you get in front of, the more cars you'll sell. And there's a bunch of people on YouTube that will give you sales advice. And so type in car sales, how to overcome objections. There's a bunch of names out there that will kind of go over the process of overcoming objections. But I'm just talking about your normal day-to-day. Like, if say you just get hired and it's your first day, you come into work, and then whatever dealership you're working for, you get certified. So you go through the computer modules to actually get certified on that brand to sell it. Now you can sell any other used car brand, but when it comes to a new car, like say you're working at a Kia dealership or a Chevy dealership, you have to take your test to get certified to actually sell that branded car new. So you go through that for a few days. It took me 3 days. It's a lot of modules you have to go through. So you're not selling in those days. I mean, you can technically. There's people who will come in, new hires, that will still have their tests to do, and then on a Saturday they will sell maybe 2 or 3 cars. If they've sold cars before, it's kind of easier for them. But if you've never sold cars before, for the first probably 2 to 3 months, I don't get discouraged. You're going to feel like everyone's kind of running around doing their own thing, and you're not going to have any idea what they're doing. Just stick to it, or at least look at the leaderboard, the scoreboard, and then pick the few highest people, the top sellers, and then just shadow them. Just shadow them until they get annoyed, or shadow them until one of them kind of takes you under the wing and teaches you all they know and shows you the ropes, because that's pretty much what I did when I first started to sell cars. I started at another store. Now I'm at this one, so I've been selling cars for probably about a year now, and so far it's been good. It's been up. There's been ups and downs. Obviously, on the slower months where I don't sell as many cars, you know, your paycheck's a lot smaller, and then when you've sold a lot of cars, then your paycheck's higher. So it all depends on your mindset. You have to come into work looking for the next customer to sell to, whether it be from the service department or from out on the lot. I'm on the internet team, so we have to follow up with our leads all day. But there's some dealerships that won't let you touch, we call them fresh ups. It's like kind of like walk-ins. So people that just come drive up on the lot and you see them out in the parking lot, you go up to them and you try to sell them a car. There's some dealerships that will be like, no, you have to make a certain amount of calls before you can even touch that customer. You have to earn the right to go out there. We do have to make calls here at this dealership, but it is, there's some parameters to it, but they're not too, it's very lenient, just to be completely honest with you. It just depends on where you go, the management that's there, and how they've structured things. And so I would apply to a dealership, start working, and honestly just try to get in front of someone. Try to get in front of a customer, even if you don't know what you're doing. The main goal is to find them a car. Find them the car that they want to buy, to be honest with you. If they come in not having any idea what they want, it's a little bit harder, but that's where knowing your inventory, new and used, comes in handy, because you can kind of just go down the questions and ask them. Most dealerships will have what's called a guest sheet, or like a needs analysis. It's pretty much a sheet with all the questions laid out. So you sit down with them, you're like, look, you don't know what car you want, what kind of a price range are you trying to be at? Are you trying to get something smaller, bigger, sporty? Do you have a family? You want something convertible? You want a truck? Are you hauling stuff? What are you going to be using it for? I mean, you're asking them all these questions. Try not to make it like an interview, but you're going to want to feel them out. Read the customer. If they want to come out to the parking lot and they don't want to sit down, then come out of the parking lot. Just walk around and just kind of ask them, like, yeah, so what are you going to be using the car for? Is the car going to be for you? I mean, like, I want to make sure I show you the right car. So what kind of a price range were you looking in? I mean, these are all of our pre-owned. These are all of our new. We have special incentives going on. I mean, you're less of a salesperson and more of a consultant. You're helping them purchase a vehicle. And when they realize that you're not a pushy sales guy trying to just sell them on any car, you're going to earn their trust. And sometimes if you can come across not pushy at all, like they come in and they tell you straight away, like, hey, look, listen, I'm not here to buy a car, I'm just looking. Then you just tell them right back, like, all right, cool, well, I've already hit my goal, so don't worry, I'm not going to sell you a car. I can help you out, if you have questions, kind of lead you in the right direction. And then you can kind of do a follow-up question, being like, so, I mean, I know you're not purchasing today, but when that day comes, I mean, what exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for like an SUV, a sedan? What's your price range? I can kind of show you what we have here. If we don't have the car here, I could probably get it somewhere else. I don't know if whatever dealership you go to, sometimes you can do dealer trades. Here we can. At this dealership, we have several branches around the whole Houston area we can get cars from. So it's kind of a privilege that we have. So yeah, there's a lot to it, but it's straightforward. You just kind of talk to the customer and you just see what car they're looking for. remember, the main goal is to find them a car. Once you land them on a car, it's all straightforward from there. You can pretty much land them on a car as long as it's within their price range, and they like the car and it's within their price range and they're ready to buy today. You got yourself a deal all day. I've had some customers come in and the first thing they tell me is, cool, nice to meet you, Josh. Just so you know, I'm not buying today. And then what do they end up doing? They leave with a car. I just kind of progress the sale forward to where even if they don't want to test drive, so say they're sitting in this car. So I'm in a Kia right now. Say they're sitting in this car and they're like, yeah, this is very nice. They don't have their seatbelt on. The car's off. And then you're just sitting in there like, yeah, this, it's got ventilated, heated seats. I mean, it's super clean. One owner, no accidents. You show them all the features. It's got Apple CarPlay. It's got all this stuff. Go ahead and turn it on. If you want to see what the dash looks like. And then sometimes they're like really adamant on not test driving, and you can just tell them like, look, straight up, if you're actually looking into purchasing, I would highly suggest just taking it for a short drive. Because what if you sign on the dotted line and then you drive off the lot and now there's some sort of a clunking in the engine, or like it doesn't steer straight, and now you've just purchased a car and now you've driven it away, and now your mindset is, man, I just bought, a lemon car or whatever, So that's just kind of, sometimes I'll say that, or if they're not ready, if they tell you like, I'm not purchasing today, so why test drive? Then you can just tell them like, well, if you're looking at purchasing a vehicle within this realm, within this category, at least it'll give you an idea of what it feels like on the road. They all feel very similar, but they do have their nuances and their differences. So take this one for a spin. I mean, it takes 2 minutes. Yeah, it's right around the corner. And when you make it nonchalant like that, usually they're like, okay, cool. I mean, yeah, I'll take it for a spin. And then, if you're standing, like if they're sitting here and you're standing out there, then close the door, get in the passenger seat and put your seatbelt on and close the door. What some people will do is they will sit in the driver's seat, and then the customer will sit in the passenger seat. And then the salesperson will put their seatbelt on and say, all right, buckle up. And then you just start driving. You just go. And then halfway through the test drive, you pull over and you can be like, so just so you can get an idea of what it feels like. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch out. I mean, yeah, you're good to drive. I got your information, so we can go ahead and switch out and then head back to the dealership. And then sometimes they'll be like, no, I don't want to. But most of the time they'll be like, yeah, I'll see how it feels. So I don't typically do that. I will just talk to them and let them know that they can test drive the vehicle. And I'll just make it super nonchalant, and they can just go around the parking lot if they really don't want to, just around the parking lot. But we do have a test drive road that goes around the dealership. So if they test drive, you're progressing the sale forward. Even if you're brand new and you have no idea what you're doing, you can tell them that. Look, I have been working here for like 2 or 3 days. I'm brand new. I still haven't finished my test yet, but I can help you out. Whatever it is, whatever number we can get to. I mean, you just tell me what we have to do to earn your business. I'm here to serve you, and if it's not this car, we'll find you another car. Just, yeah, let them know that you're brand new and that you're helping them through the process. And then most of the time when they find out you're brand new, you'll probably end up selling them a car, because they know that the brand new person doesn't have all the tricks up their sleeve, and they're not going to try to convince you to buy something. So sometimes I'll even tell people that I'm brand new, which in hindsight I kind of am. I mean, I've been selling cars for just about a year, and there's some people here that have been here for 20 years. So I'm like, look, I'm fairly new at the car business. Haven't been selling cars for too long, but I kind of know my way around them. So I'll help you out as much as I can, and if it's not this specific car, then let's find you a car. That's the first step. Find them the car that they want, and then it's pretty much following the steps from there. So if you have any questions about selling cars, about the pay and the sales process. I'm not the best ever by any means. I'm still learning. So there's a lot of guys around this dealership that will still help me out a little bit, and I'm always open to advice and different overcoming objections. I've watched a lot of Andy Elliott and all these other car sales guys, online that give advice on overcoming objections. That's one of the big ones too. If you're brand new at selling cars, is look up how to overcome objections while selling a car, and it'll help you out a lot. It'll just give you a different lens to look through when talking to a customer. So I'm sitting here in this vehicle. I'm about to go put some miles on it. I actually, I'm about to drive back around. I ordered some lunch. Today I'm not going to actually take a lunch break. But there's this food truck right here. And he sells burgers. So I'm going to have myself a burger. I'm going to go see if he's ready with it. But anyway, I would highly suggest looking up. I'm going to put my seatbelt on because that's pretty loud beeping. Yeah, man, I'm going to be posting on here as much as I can with advice and just my day in the life of being a car salesman and the pros and cons and how I like it. I mean, this is just what I have been doing for about a year. Before I did this, I sold mobile homes. I didn't make any money doing that. And then prior to selling homes, I worked at T-Mobile for about 5 to 6 years. So it's been a journey, and that was my very first sales position was at T-Mobile. Let's see if I can just make it around here. That was my first sales position was at T-Mobile. And that's where I kind of learned the basics on talking to customers, negotiating, and learning the ins and outs of the sales process. It's not a matter of convincing someone to buy something, but finding the product that they are truly looking to buy. When it comes to cell phones as well, like they can come in like, what are you looking for? Or like, are you using Samsung iPhone? What do you use your phone for? Sometimes they come in and they're like, I want the bare minimum. I don't want anything fancy. And if they have an okay phone that takes the updates that are coming out, then sometimes every once in a while I would be like, dude, just keep your phone. Like your phone works fine. And I'll ask them like, does your phone at least work okay? And you can make calls and you can touch the screen okay. And they're like, yeah, phone works fine. So I'll sign them up with the service. And then I'm like, dude, just keep your phone. Because if you're not actually looking to buy a new phone, then, I mean, I could sell you a phone. But, and then that will build trust with the customer. And then they'll come, whenever that comes time to upgrade, you give them your information. They'll remember you. They'll remember your name. They'll remember your face. They'll come back. I've had people come back several times. And they're like, hey, I'm ready to upgrade. Or like, hey, I have my cousin with me. They want to add a line. They're here from out of town. We want to add 2 lines. And then so it's a matter of finding what the customer wants to buy. Same thing with cars. If they come in looking for a very, very specific car, sometimes you can switch them to something equivalent. Or maybe I can switch them to a new car because it has better incentives and lower rates. But every once in a while, you'll get someone who will come in and they want, a Ford Escape. And that's all they want. That's the only car they want. And you can show them other vehicles that are the same thing, different brand, same price. And sometimes you can switch them, but sometimes you can't. And so that's the life of being in sales. Is sometimes you will have a deal, sometimes you won't. It'll be up and down. But as long as you're consistent, you show up every day, that's the first step. Just show up and then get in front of a customer. Get in front of as many customers as you can, because the more people you talk to, the more cars you'll sell. And that's not only for automotive, that's for all sales. The more prospects and the more people you talk to, the more money you'll make. And so that's my number one piece of advice is, if you're brand new, just try to get in front of someone. Learn and just stumble through it. You're not going to learn right away by sitting in the back and just being on your phone and just watching. You can shadow as much as you can. Learn kind of the process of the sale, or however they want you to do it at that specific dealership or company, and then just get in front of someone. The faster you can do that, the faster you'll start making money. And there'll be days where it's up and down. Sometimes you'll go into work and not have too much energy, and so you just have to take it as they come, and just ride the wave. This is life. One day you will see. This is where I'm making this video uncut, so I'm not cutting it, and now I'm kind of running out of things to say a little bit. So pretty much, yeah, if you're stuck around for this long, this is my burger guy. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's still making my burger. If you've stuck around for this long, then consider hitting the subscribe button so you can see my next videos I post. I'm going to be just posting everything I can about life. I'm just going through it just like you. I work full time with I have 2 kids, I have a beautiful wife at home. My in-laws live with me. And so, and I'm working. And this is more than full time. This is like 10 to 12 hours a day. I live here pretty much. And so this is the car business, what you sign up for. Be prepared. You're going to be working a lot. Every Saturday, bell to bell. The last week of every month is all bell to bell. New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, bell to bell. Or actually on New Year's Eve, we got off at 5. And then Christmas Eve, we got off at 5. Christmas Day, we had off. You're going to be working a lot. And when you're here, there's plenty of opportunity. So you have to sell a car. You can sell a car every day if you want. And if there's no one coming in, if it's raining, there's people in service department. You can kind of go over there and talk to them and be like, hey, if we can keep your payment similar to what you're paying now, get you out of your car and into a newer one. I mean, is that something that you consider? Not even being pushy about selling it, just bringing up the option just to get their mind thinking about it, because they're in for service and sometimes they're not even thinking about it. But if you ask, they're like, yeah, I mean, while I'm here, yeah, let's go on a test drive. Just see what you think. I mean, you don't have to buy anything. And then they go on the test drive, and then you can just tell them like, yeah, like there's a pretty good chance we can get your payment the same on this car as we can on your trade, because you got some positive equity. You can trade it in. And if you wanted to look into it while you're here, yeah, we can run the numbers and just see what you think. And then most of the time, it will end up being a sale. So there's a bunch of ways you can get a deal. Even if there's not customers walking in and you don't get any leads, there's always people here actually sitting on the dealership. So so that's it. I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll see you in the next video.